Order the July 24th, 2025 regular meeting of the School Board of Charlotte County. Here in Charlotte County, we will achieve our vision of success for all through our mission to educate, inspire, and support all students to build stronger communities. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. And thank you for that. Mr. Superintendent, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
There are no additions or corrections.
Thank you very much. Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are there any citizens wishing to address the board? None at this time. Thank you very much. Mr. Superintendent, the consent agenda is next.
Mr. Chair, we have one routine item on the consent agenda, which was reviewed in our individual meetings. I'm recommending approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The action agenda, Mr. Superintendent.
As part of the truth and millage process, we are required to advertise the 2025-2026 tentative budget and millage rates prior to school board action at a budget public hearing. I am requesting approval to advertise the 2025-2026 tentative budget and millage rates.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the advertisement of the 2025-2026 tentative budget and millage rates. Are there any board discussion?
I do have a comment to make. So I recognize that this is just to advertise the millage, but I did want to make some comments about the budget to give our board and our staff something to think about between now and when we actually have the workshop on the 31st and the meeting to approve the tentative budget. So I want to begin by recognizing Superintendent Vianello, our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Allen, and Dr. Adrian McElroy. They have worked long hours to put this budget together and formulate a plan for the future. I appreciate their time, professionalism, and willingness to answer every question I've asked. As board members, we have three core responsibilities: to hire and evaluate the superintendent, to write policy, and most importantly, to pass a responsible budget. Our strategic plan calls for transparency and integrity. That means being honest with our community and being good stewards of taxpayer dollars. I've reviewed both the revenues and expenditures in the general fund and compared last year's tentative budget with this year's. The most significant change to revenue is that $1.3 million in federal title funding is on hold while being programmatically reviewed. The unweighted funding per student increased from last year's second calculation to this year's, $9,490.41 to $9,653.36. Additionally, the budget shows an increase of 271 students in our traditional public schools. Looking at scholarship funding, there was a prior year adjustment for scholarships of $1.3 million, but the base FEFP also increased by $2 million from the second to the third calculation. Although the budget projects more scholarship students, we're also projecting a net gain of students in our traditional schools. The increase in students receiving scholarships is not the cause of the shortfall. I've asked Mr. Allen for a detailed analysis of scholarship funding and look forward to his report at the July 31 workshop. On the expenditure side, the gap stems from two decisions. First, our unanimous approval of a 4% raise for all staff, which we agreed was an investment in retention and stability. Second, the addition of 128 positions to the general fund last year, including 91 that were previously funded by federal ESSER dollars. These decisions were made with a healthy 12% fund balance and have contributed to gains in student achievement. We came within 0.25% of earning an A. More trained professionals in our schools drive better outcomes for our students. The reality that we need to face is that state and local revenue has decreased by $182,285, or relatively flat, while expenditures have increased dramatically from $193 million in the 2022-2023 year to $230 million in the proposed budget for this year. We are now covering the budget gap by transferring capital funds and using reserves tools that are not sustainable for the long term. I commend Mr. Allen for presenting a budget that maintains the 10% unassigned fund balance required for board policy. But I am deeply concerned that if projected student counts shift, particularly toward charter or scholarship students, we may be asked to dip below that threshold. Doing so would require 4 votes of this board. Moving forward, we must right-size our district to live within our means. Strategic Plan Priority Number 4 calls on us to allocate resources that maximize success for all students. I respect and value my colleagues' perspectives, and I look forward to working together to find solutions that protect student learning while maintaining financial responsibility.
Thank you, Mrs. Samantri, for the comments. Anyone else would like to respond?
Yeah, I have some comments as well,
Sure.
please. So just to, Ms. Amatri, you cited some numbers, which we'll talk about at the budget workshop on the 31st. And the numbers that you gave are a little bit different than some of the numbers that have been presented in our budget. So it'll be interesting to talk about that and where you got some of that information from as well, compared to what's in our budget for the upcoming year. As we move forward with this step in the budget process to approve advertising the millage rates, which are decreasing, and advertising the tentative budget, I want to take a moment to recognize Marcus Allen, our CFO. He was giving a very short time frame from when the state provided all the needed information until today. I think it's a couple of weeks down to the last few days. He was working over the weekend, I think, when the final numbers came in. So thank you for spending that time to get that done for us. I know you weren't getting a lot of sleep. Thanks to our school board's proactive approach over the last few years and the district's support, we've maintained a strong fund balance, which allows us to respond to challenges strategically rather than react. While we are facing a shortfall this year, some of this due to factors outside our control, including the loss of federal title funds and increased expenses like FPL and our property and casualty insurance, I'm proud that our careful planning allowed us to navigate these changes responsibly and to continue putting students first. I look forward to our workshop on July 31st, where we'll have the opportunity to examine the budget more deeply and ensure everyone clearly understands where we are and how we are moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reynolds. I'd also like to comment, thank you again, Mark and Marcus, for your availability at all times to answer any questions that popped up, especially the last couple of weeks. And like Ms. Reynolds said, it's been pretty rough. So thank you for being available at all times. And I'm sure going forward that will certainly be the case. So thank you. Just want to reiterate what Ms. Reynolds said and what Mantri said. The district is in a healthy situation now, and we're going to take measures to make sure that our strategic focus stays on students. That's been our number one goal, will remain our number one goal, not just student learning, but student support. So I appreciate that student focus. And going into this year with a healthy fund balance has always been a goal of ours, and I believe at this moment, we're sitting at about 15.1% fund balance.
15.1%, correct.
So because of the decisions the school board has made in recent history, we are in a healthy position, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be facing, that we're not going to be facing some lean times. I've been in this district for 34 plus years, and this is not the first time that I've experienced lean times. We've all experienced that. We've always found a way to come together, keep our focus on students, the support of our students, our staff, and making sure we do what's right for our students. And I have no fear that that's not going to happen this year. So with that, I don't have any more comments for this. Anyone else before we move on to the vote? All right, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. All right, now we're going to go into comments. And we have Patrick Dugan, who's sitting in for Mr. McKinley. Any comments?
No comments.
Thank you. All right, and we'll start off with Wendy.
No comments this morning. Thank you.
Kim Amantri, anything additional?
No more comments.
Kara Reynolds.
Just because this is our first meeting since our year-round schools went back, it was a great start to the year. Got an opportunity to visit some of our schools and see those smiling faces, and it's just so much fun as we get ready to start with our traditional school as well. So congratulations to those who started, our teachers who showed up, our staff that's there. You're doing a great job so far, so thank you.
Mr. Seeger.
As has been pointed out already, the time ahead may not be as rosy as all of us would like. But as Mr. Leclerc has pointed out, we've been down roads before. And as long as we pull together as a community, as a school system, and as a district, we'll get through this one too. And the time when I came on the board in 2012, I can remember that we were looking for beyond nickels. It was that bad. And thanks to the hard work of our prior superintendent, this superintendent, and the boards, we've managed to accumulate this fund balance that's going to help us weather this first year. But as Ms. Amatri has pointed out, we need to be proactive from here on. We can't put our head in the sand and think it's automatically going to get better. We're going to have to proactively attack the shortcomings that are coming out of both Washington and Tallahassee, because our citizens expect us to do more with less, and we're going to need to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Seeger, and I have no comments, so I'm going to pass it on to Mr.
This
Superintendent.
morning either, Mr.
All right.
Chair.
With that, with no further business, this meeting